And everybody, obviously, was born from parents. But parents, as good as they are, they also may come up and they have attitudes. Isaac, I spoke to somebody the other day, a person that screams a lot in their home. And maybe a generation ago, screaming and yelling may have been the way of life, but today people don't have tolerance for screaming and yelling. For those who were here yesterday, that was how the Musar finished, the great words, the eternal words of Shlomo HaMelech alav shalom. What did he say? Divrei hachamim benachad nishma'im. The words of the wise are heard when they are said in a calm and peaceful manner. So what Shlomo HaMelech is trying to say, Shlomo HaMelech didn't write this in the 21st century, that people have a lot of issues and mental health became a big topic in our generation, and all kinds of medical conditions that in the past perhaps we never heard of them. Shlomo HaMelech already gave us the formula. Divrei hachamim benachat nishma'im. You want to calm the environment? You want to have peace in your home? You want to live a calm life? You need to speak benachat belo besad. It needs to be in that kind, in a soft manner. And that's why, as I started to say before, that I asked somebody, why do you raise your voice when you speak to your wife at home? And what the person tells me, because my father did it. Think for a second. Because my father did it. So the boy or the young person innocently says, if my father did it, means that it's okay. And that's why the Parashah of today tells you, Umibet avicha, even things that you have seen in the house of your parents, and you thought that they were okay, but you come to realize that is the moment to change, you need to change. This is the reason why Abraham Avinu needed to be taken out of the environment. The Chovat HaLevavot talks about the influence of the environment. And we no one can deny that our life is affected by the environment that we live. As the Chovat HaLevavot writes, if you walk into a store that sells perfume, you just walk in and out, you don't buy anything, you're going to come out smelling like perfume. But if you walk into a fish store, or into a butcher shop, or into a tannery, these are places that have very strong odor, how are you going to smell? According to whatever you were exposed. So the Torah is telling us that sometimes, in order for the person to be able to work against their own enemies in their own life, and in order for the person to grow and to be able to develop the potential that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave the person, you need to make a change. And that's why the Pasuk says, Lech Lecha. Sometimes the best option is start a new chapter in your life, move to a different place, and let the berachot of Hashem comes and becomes part of our daily life. And this was, in a way, Abraham Avinu alav shalom. The Zohar Kadosh tells us that Abraham Avinu wasn't only Abraham Avinu. Abraham Avinu was the master teacher of Chesed. The Pasuk will tell us later on, Ve'et ha-nefesh asher asu b'haran. Et ha-nefesh asher asu b'haran. What does it mean? Abraham went out of the way in order to help people to know HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is something that today, Baruch Hashem, we understand about godliness. Idolatry and idol worshipping today is almost gone from the world. Yes, there are places in the world, perhaps in the Far East, maybe places in Central America, that there's a lot of idolatry, idol worshipping, but overall, the majority of the world today just to realize that that is empty. And slowly but surely, Be'ezat Hashem, one of the ultimate miracles that will happen to the world as a whole is that the entire world will become monotheistic, will be believing in Hakadosh Baruch Hu. As the Pasuk writes in the Navi, Umalea ha'ares de'a et Hashem kamayim layam mechasim. And the world will be filled of Hashem's knowledge like the water covers the ocean. What does it mean? That today, because of the Galut, because of the environment, because of social media, because of fake news, as they say in the world of politics, and whatever is going on outside of the holy walls of synagogues and places of Torah study, our life became different. I heard a doctor yesterday was explaining that in this generation, there is a lot of new words that it became part of our vocabulary. They were talking about anxiety. Anxiety. What? And the doctor gave short speech, straight to the point, and he says, what prompted that anxiety in the 21st century is something that millions of people are affected by. Something that 20, 30, 40 years ago, who heard of the word anxiety? Maybe it was a word in the dictionary, but we don't use it. Oh, Hazid, that person has anxiety. Oh, Hazid, that person has a panic attack. Oh, Hazid, that person has ADD, ADHD. All kinds of interesting abbreviations that suddenly we have a whole new package of conditions. And the doctor said it. It says, the power of technology and social media, it puts us on the edge. Yani, you need to check your WhatsApp every 15 minutes because there are updates every 15 minutes. Yani, whatever happened in the world, you don't need to make a phone call to let someone know what's happening in the world. Today, with the world technology, in 1 second, I press buttons and 1,000 people get this class of today. Maybe 6 buttons because there are 6 chat groups, because they don't fit in one. In a minute or 2 max, even this video, you're asking what is this video? This is part of the project from the Lighthouse program. And I think it's being fed live via the Facebook page of the Lighthouse project. I don't know how many people are watching this, but look at unbelievable technology. That a person is sitting down in Miami giving a shiur of Torah, and who knows where the people are in the world watching. I hope you like my tie for today and the suit, right? Gotta make sure that I look now. You know, now we're talking about video. When it's audio, doesn't matter. Now video, you need to make HD video. Wow. Ma'alim ba'kodesh, always a higher level and level. Meaning to say that there is a good side of it, but also we became less patient. Yani, I'm going to order something from Amazon. I don't settle for a 3-day delivery. I want it today. And if I cannot wait to the 2-hour delivery, I go to a locker to pick it up. And in the olden days, if a package took UPS ground 4 days, oh, Baruch Hashem, who has patience? Who has tolerance? And this is why Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, in Tomer Devorah, tells us tolerance is a great virtue to have. In Hebrew, this is called sablanut. But if a person lives on the edge, and the person is always in a rush, and the person becomes desperate, so what did we achieve? Adding more stress into our life? Guess what? Stress kills.
Stress is new.
Right. But stress was so always something that existed. But now the stress became multiplied. Life is stressful. Let's be honest here. Life comes with stress. Parnasa, marriage, education of the children, situations of life that come across. That is natural. But imagine yourself if the stress level increases because of living on the edge. And always, I need an update. I need an update. What's going on? I'm not happy. I need the iPhone 11. I need the iPhone 12. I need the iPhone 14. I'm not sure they're going to do the 13 because they are afraid of of negative things. But for Torah, the opposite. Number 13 is great. Rabotai, this was the life of Abraham Avinu. Lech lecha. Abraham Avinu walked with Hashem next to him. As we say in our daily prayers, Halichot olam lo. Al tikre halichot ela halachot. This is a verse that we say every day of our life. And we say as follows, Halichot olam lo. The walkway, the pathway of the world belong to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's a pasuk from the Navi. But what do we say? Al tikre halichot ela halachot. Halachot means basically Jewish law. But interesting enough that how do we call halacha? We say halacha is from Lashon holech. Holech, lech lecha. Caminar in Spanish. A person walks with a Kadosh Baruch Hu. You may ask yourself, how do I walk with God? So I'll tell you that there are two requirements that we need to meet in our life to be considered a suitable, meaningful life. To live with God and to walk with God. Now, this may sound very complicated and very sophisticated, but actually it is not. Let me explain this concept and we'll go to the halakha quickly of today, which is very beautiful, short and sweet, discussing the beauty of the mitzvah of tzedakah. So there are two concepts of life. Number one, halakha. How do I walk in my life? How do I conduct myself in my life? For that, I go to the Shulchan Aruch. I go to the Code of Jewish Law, and the Torah gives me guidelines from the minute that I wake up till I go to sleep at night, and every imaginable situation in your life, there is a godly part of it. It doesn't matter what it is. From waking up, going to the bathroom, taking a shower, relieving yourself, going to the world of business, being intimate with your spouse, getting married, having children, there are guidelines in every step of the life of the person. That's called the concept of halakha. Halakha means holech. How I am walking in my life. I'm walking with Hashem or I'm walking on the other side of the street. That's the concept of practical halakha. But the Torah doesn't settle only for how do you do mitzvot and how do you follow halakha. The Torah has one more expectation about us. How do we conduct ourselves as a person? Forget about religiosity now. Forget about Torah knowledge, how much a person knows, how much a person learns. But the question is, how do we conduct ourselves as humans? That's why there is another mitzvah of the Torah that says, Ve'alachta bidrachav. A person needs to imitate Hashem. Obviously, in our way, in our limited way. And Rashi says, how could it be that a person imitates Hashem? And Rashi says, very simple, act in a godly way. Then you may ask yourself, Rabbi, how do you expect me to act in a godly way? Hashem is the creator of the world. Melech Malchei Melachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Short answer, be compassionate, be respectful, be nice, be tolerant, have patience, self-control, control anger, so to speak. In other words, in the virtues of the person, in the character trait of the individual, you are able to see this person walking in the ways of God, or this person is walking away from God. And that's why it says, I think the Safra Hasidim quotes this statement that says, Ma'asecha yekarevucha, ma'asecha yerahakucha. In English means, your deeds, meaning our deeds, can get me closer to Hashem, or my behavior can keep a great distance from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Do you think that Abraham Avinu was born Abraham Avinu? No, he was born to a father that was a manufacturer, a dealer, a merchant of idols. So you think, I'm going to continue my father's business. Your father has an enterprise, manufacturing idols every hour of the day. That's a booming business in those days. Today, I'm not sure. But in those days, Terah was the biggest dealer of Avodah Zarah. And he was a minister in the kingdom of Nimrod. And many other sinister behaviors that he had. But guess what? At the end of his life, Terah did teshuvah. He didn't know better because he was born into that type of world. But later on, the Torah hints to us that Terah did teshuvah. And the wife of Terah, the mother of Abraham Avinu, her name was Amtalai Bat Karnavo, the Gemara says. She was a righteous woman. And Abraham Avinu became Abraham Avinu. He was not born Abraham. Besides the name change, he was born Abraham. And the change of identity enabled him to truly develop as becoming the great Abraham Avinu, the founding father of Am Israel. And we need to know, we all, without exception, everyone here in the room, everybody watching live, everybody listening to the audio file, everybody has a speck of Abraham Avinu inside of our heart, inside of our neshama. Not only of Abraham, Ishaq, Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron, Yosef, David, Shlomo, all the righteous tzaddikim. But today, the start of the week is Abraham Avinu. Next week, Be'ezat Hashem, we're going to welcome Ishaq Avinu through the Akedah, but we wait till next week. We're still discussing Abraham Avinu's life. Rabotai, En davar ha'omer bifnei harason, the Gemara says. There is nothing stands against the will of a person. As we say in English, if there is a will, there is a way. A person just needs to put the mind, and a person needs to be honest with themselves. Nobody needs to know your improvement. Nobody needs to know how you're changing. Nobody needs to know whatever thing you do with God. Let it be private and quietly between you and Hashem. But life, according to our beautiful Torah, is all about changing and self-improvement. And we have the potential to do it. But we need to make sure that we believe in ourselves. Many times, a person has the potential and the person has the capability, but a person is afraid. What's going to be? What people are going to say? All these thoughts may be important in some cases, but at the end of the day, priority in your life, it's you, your wife, your children, your parents. You can't take care of the entire world. But one thing is for sure, every time we do something good, something positive, not only is beneficial for us and those who surround us, but it brings a little bit of light into the world. And we know that a bit of light is able to dissipate a tremendous amount of darkness. And today, we live in darkness. Although today is a beautiful, sunny Florida day, but we live in a moral type of darkness. As I mentioned on Shabbat, but we leave this topic for some other time. Let's go quickly to the halacha of today that discusses the topic of tzedakah. Baruch Hashem, I believe wholeheartedly that everybody gives tzedakah every day of our life. Before prayer, by Barech David, in Mincha, after Mincha, throughout the day, when somebody comes to collect. And Baruch Hashem is a beautiful mitzvah. And there are many times that the Torah reinforces this particular concept. And the Torah gives us a fascinating guarantee from the Shulchan Aruch. Le'olam en adam ma'ani min tzedakah. Guaranteed that you will never become poor by giving charity. Many times when people need to give, they say, if I give, I'm not going to have. So now you have a black and white written guarantee that in the zechut, and not only that, belo davar ra, and nothing evil or bad will happen to the person, belo hezek milgalgel al yadah, and no damage will ever come to the person that gives charity. Where do we learn this from? Shenemar, v'haya ma'aseh tzedakah shalom. In the merit of giving charity, peace comes upon the person. And we know very well that the ultimate blessing in a person's life is what? Shalom. As Rashi says, מי שיש לו שלום, יש לו הכל. מי שאין לו שלום, אין לו כלום. Rashi says in Bereshah Chukotai, great is the power of peace, because the person that has peace has everything, and the person that has no peace has nothing. Second benefit, כל המרחם על העניים, a person that has mercy upon the needy. HaKadosh Baruch Hu merachem alav, God has mercy to you. Basically, reciprocity. Midah keneged midah. Measure for measure. You were kind to someone, Hashem reciprocates. You were generous to someone, Hashem reciprocates. And the opposite, Haz v'shalom. Number 4, what else is beneficial for tzedakah? So the Lacha of today concludes and it says, HaTzedakah doha et hagezerot hakashot ubara'av tasil mimavet. The power of charity is able to break down negative decrees. And that's why the Mishnah writes, and the Gemara writes, Gedolah tzedakah shemekarevet et hageula. Great is the power of charity that expedites Mashiach's arrival. And Shlomo HaMelech says it all. Uzdaka tasil mimavet. Even if, God forbid, Haz v'shalom, a decree may have been pre-approved in Shamayim against the person, giving charity many times has the power to reverse, like the famous story that happened with the daughter of the one and only Rabbi Akiva, Zechuto Yagen Aleinu. My dear friends, I'd like to wish everybody to have a Shavua Tov Mevorach. I have to run to the airport. I'll be back later on today, Be'ezat Hashem. So we're going to say Kaddish.